Students, in this class we are going to see the different types of data transmission. So in the previous class we have seen the different means of communication like serial communication and parallel communication. In this class we are going to see the types of data transmission. So in what are the different ways of transmitting your data, whether you are transmitting the data in a single channel or you are going to transmit the data in a parallel channel, or whether it is possible to transmit the data between your transmitter and receiver in one way or two way. So based on that you are going to see the types of data transmission. So the types of data transmission deals with two things. One is your simplex data transmission and the second one is your duplex data transmission. First one is your simplex data transmission and the second one is your duplex data transmission. This is going to define whether we are going to transmit the data as a one-way communication or two-way communication. The simplex data transmission is just like your one-way communication. It means that only from your transmitting end to the receiving end you can transmit the data. You cannot transmit the data from your receiving end to transmitting end. So it is not possible in case of your simplex data transmission. So simplex data transmission is just like a one-way communication between your transmitting and between your sending end and the receiving end. Next, duplex data transmission. Duplex data transmission means it is just like your two-way communication. Now it means that you can transmit the data from your transmitting end to the receiving end or from your receiving end to the transmitting end. It is just like a two-way communication. So in this duplex data transmission are of two types. One is your half duplex and second one is your full duplex. So the diagram for the same has been given over here. This is the diagram that we have taken it from the book called Mazdi. Okay, so half duplex, it means that here the information is conveyed in one direction, that is either from your master or from your slave. It means either you can transmit the data from your transmitting end to the receiving end or from your receiving end to your transmitting end. So it is also one way of communication at a time. It is just like a call that we are making one-to-one call. Like if I am speaking, the other person cannot speak. Till I complete, the other person will be waiting. So it is just like a communication between one-to-one call. So if I am speaking, if one person is speaking, the other person will receive. If this person is speaking, this person will receive. It is just like a communication that is conveyed in only one direction at a time. So either your master will speak or the student will speak. So it is just like your half duplex. Full duplex means the information can happen in both the ways at a time. Full duplex, the information can happen in both the ways. That is, at a time the data can be transmitted from your transmitting end to the receiving end and from receiving end to the transmitting end. It can happen at the same time. Here baud rate is very important when you are communicating information from one end to the other end, that is from your transmitting end to your receiving end. So what is meant by a baud rate? What are the importance of the baud rate? All these topics need to be discussed. Just because we need to have an in-depth discussion to write a program, we need to calculate the baud rate and in what channel we are going to transmit the data. So all these things, while writing a program, it is mandatory. So we need to understand the importance of the baud rate, why we need to why we need to incorporate this baud rate in communication channel. So baud rate is nothing but, suppose you consider you are going to communicate between two microcontrollers. Here you have one microcontroller and here you have another microcontroller. So I am going to name the microcontroller 1 as mu1 and the microcontroller 2 as mu2. So if I wanted to have a communication between these two microcontrollers, I need to match the baud rate between these two microcontrollers. So baud rate is nothing but, it is number of bits per second. Baud rate is normally, the definition for baud rate is, it is nothing but it is number of bits per second. The importance of baud rate is, suppose if I wanted to operate two microprocessor, if I wanted to share the information between two microprocessor, first I need to match the baud rate between these two microcontroller or microprocessor. Otherwise, the communication will not occur. So when we are going to set the baud rate, suppose you are going to set the baud rate for the microcontroller 1, we should direct the microcontroller to receive the data at a particular same speed, because baud rate is nothing but number of bits per second, that is how much amount of data we are going to receive at the receiving end. How many bits of data per second we are going to receive at the receiving end is very important. So when we are communicating between the two microcontroller, setting of baud rate between the two microcontroller is important. Why? Because when you set one microcontroller with a baud rate of 9600, you cannot set the baud rate of microcontroller 2 to be 4800, because the data transmitting by this microcontroller, the data transmitting or the bits per second transmitted by microcontroller 1 will be at a faster rate, whereas the microcontroller 2 cannot pick up the speed same as that of your microcontroller 1, because it is operating at a different baud rate, that is 4800. So when we are transmitting the data between two microcontrollers, setting of baud rate is very important. Then only the transmission speed will be similar in case of your in both the microcontroller. So in this different types of communication, we have discussed what is meant by a simplex data transmission, what is meant by duplex data transmission, what is the importance of the baud rate, and why we need to have consider the baud rate when you are transmitting the data from one microcontroller to other microcontroller. All these things we have discussed. Now we are going to discuss in depth what is meant by a communication protocols in a serial communication. So why we need to understand the communication protocol in a serial communication is, so you consider SPI, that is serial peripheral interface. So it could be either a 3-wire system or 4-wire system. So why we need all these things in the sense, suppose if you wanted to transmit the data from your transmitting end to the receiving end, or from your receiving end to the transmitting end, and vice versa, the third wire is used for the clock pulse. That is one wire is to transmit the data from your master end to your slave end. That is, if the initial point is going to be this one, so this is going to be your master end and this is going to be your slave end. So in case of serial peripheral interface 3-wire system, you will be having 3 wires. In that 2 wire is meant for transmitting the data. That is, once to transmit the data from your transmitting end to your receiving end, and other from your receiving end to your transmitting end. So likewise 2 wire is over, then the third wire is meant for clock pulse. So serial peripheral interface, it could either be a 3-wire protocol or 4-wire protocol. Here the fourth wire, in 3-wire, 2-wire will transmit the data from your transmitting end to your receiving end, or from receiving end to your transmitting end, and the third wire is for your clock pulse. Whereas in case of your 4-wire protocol, the fourth wire will be your slave. That is, to select the slave, which one should act as a slave, that will be selected with the help of your fourth wire available in serial peripheral interface. This is one of your communication protocol that is mainly used for transmitting the data using serial communication. Next one is your I2C. So first one in simplex data transmission or duplex data transmission, here you are going to prefer only serial data transfer. Under serial data transfer, while transmitting, the protocol is very important, that is communication protocol is very important. Under communication protocol, the first protocol what we have seen is SPI, that is serial peripheral interface, which could be either a 3-wire system or 4-wire system. The SPI may either have 3-wire or it may have 4-wire. If it is having a 3-wire, 2-wire is meant for communication, that is 2-wire is used to transmit the data from one end to the other end, and from receiving end to the transmitting end. So vice versa of communication happens with the 2-wire, and the third wire is meant for giving a clock pulse. In case of 4-wire system, Two wire is meant for transmitting your data, and the third wire is for your clock pulse, and fourth wire will select which should be act as a slave part. The next protocol for the data transmission system is going to be I2C. It is nothing but inter-integrated circuit. So this one I2C is not, it is nothing but I square C. That is IIC. First I stands for integrated circuits. Integrated, and the C stands for, it is circuits. So this is another protocol. You might have heard about the communication system, that is UART. You might have heard about the communication system called UART, that is Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter, and one more is USART, USART, that is Universal Synchronous Asynchronous Receiver and Transmitter. So when you consider the second protocol, what I have told, I squared C, that is inter-integrated circuit, it is the advanced protocol when compared to your USART, that is Universal Synchronous Asynchronous Receiving Transmitting. So this I square C is your two-wire communication. Two-wire communication means here also the communication can happen vice versa, that is from sending in to your receiving in, or from your receiving in to your sending in. Here, as the number of wires is less for transmitting your data, for example here two wire is there, right? So the first wire is meant for your clock pulse, and the second wire is meant to transmit your data. Here data transmission will happen in your second wire, which is nothing but your bidirectional. So it is a comparatively advanced protocol when you compare it with your SPI, that is serial peripheral interface. This is another way of transmitting your data from your sending end to the other receiving end. So as of now, to transmit the data either by means of your simplex data transmission or by means of your duplex data transmission, we have seen two protocols. One is SPI, that is serial peripheral interface, and the second one is going to be I square C, that is inter-integrated circuit. The SPI, it comprises of either 3-wire protocol or 4-wire protocol, whereas I square C, it is having only 2-wire protocol. In both SPI, that is in both serial peripheral interface as well as I square C, we are going to transmit the data in a bidirectional way. Either way you will be transmitting the data. And here in case of your 3-wire protocol, the third wire is for your clock pulse. The third wire, whatever you have over here, it is for your clock pulse, whereas the fourth wire is to select the slave. So this is the comparative between your two protocols, that is SPI, that is serial peripheral interface, and I square C, that is integrated circuit. And when you compare this I square C protocol with USART, that is Universal Synchronous Asynchronous Receiving Transmitting, it is going to be faster, that is I square C is going to be faster when compared to your USART protocol, that is Universal Synchronous Asynchronous Receiving and Transmitting. But most probably in a microcontroller, we will be transmitting the data either by means of your USART or by means of your UART, because it has been incorporated in your motherboard. Next one, suppose if I wanted to have a communication between hardware and software. You consider I wanted to have a communication between my hardware device and the software whatever I have written. If I wanted to have a communication, I will be using a protocol called RS-232, which is nothing but a standard protocol that we will be looking in the further chapter. So all these descriptions I have given over here, and it is the asynchronous serial communication data framing. As we discussed earlier, in case of your asynchronous serial communication is nothing but character oriented data transfer. Synchronous is block oriented, whereas asynchronous is character oriented data transfer. In this we can transfer a byte of data. A byte in the sense it is nothing but 8 bit of data at a time. So you could see here D0 to D7. From D0 to D7 it is the data that we are supposed to transmit. Before that we are having one start bit and stop bit. The start bit and stop bit is required. Why? Because when you are transmitting a data via a character oriented data transfer, the start bit and stop bit is essential whether the data has been received from the sending end to the receiving end in the right manner, just to check whether all the data has been transmitted from your transmitting end to the receiving end, or whether the receiver has received all the data from the transmitting end. Just to check that, we are going to use a bit called start bit and stop bit. So in the next class, we will be dealing at more depth with the protocol that is used for communicating your software and hardware. That is nothing but RS-232. Thank you, students.